Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Alright, let's get straight to it. The big news. We've all known about this for the last few weeks, but now we have official confirmation. OLEKSANDR Usyk set to defend world heavyweight title in rematch against Daniel Dubois. This fight will take place Wembley Stadium, the National Stadium, and it will be July 19th. There was a lot of talk about July 12th, but it makes sense to go 19th. There is two big cards in America on that weekend. Obviously, July 11th is Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, and July 12th is the Edgar Berlanga, Hamza Shiraz, Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda fight card. So there's no point in doing it that weekend. Give it a good week's run, and I think you'll get more eyeballs on it. And more eyeballs means more bums on seats. It means more when it comes to pay-per-view as well. So, yeah, big fight. I think it's number 1 versus number 2. I know there will be some people that will argue and say Joseph Parker's number 2. And I get that. And that's why it's a big shame we didn't get to see Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. So there'll be no argument, right? The winner of that fight's Usyk. But I look at Daniel Dubois' run, and I still think that run of Jarrell Miller, Hrgovic, AJ is better. It's very close, but I think it's better than Zhang. Sorry, was it Zhang Wilder or Wilder Zhang? Can't remember. But Zhang, Wilder, and Bakoli. It's close. I think this is a different Daniel Dubois. I gave Daniel Dubois no chance when he went to Poland. I think I've said this, like zero. And I still say this. I thought he boxed very well for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And then obviously the low blow happened, and then he unraveled. This is a completely different Daniel Dubois. Completely different. He's had so many more fight camps now with Don Charles. They're like that. He just looks ready now. He wasn't ready before. He now looks ready. He's a champion in his own right as well. So I give him a chance. Don't get me wrong, OLEKSANDR Usyk is favourite, clearly. But where I gave him no chance before, I give him at least a 30% chance now. And that's big. That's big. Look, OLEKSANDR Usyk is a special talent, but he's 38. He's 38. Daniel Dubois is a young man. What's Daniel Dubois? 26, 27? This is a young man's game. And Daniel Dubois now has super confidence. I mean, you guys saw him in the ring after Usyk beat Fury, grabbing the mic. I mean, this is a guy that, had Joseph Parker waiting, grabbed the mic and said he wanted his rematch. I just saw that when they did their face-to-face at Wembley Stadium, he pushed OLEKSANDR Usyk, which is so out of character. But that's because he's so much more confident now. He's so much more confident. So, look, we'll do more videos as that fight draws nearer. But I think it's a good fight. I really do. I guess there is this, what happens with Joseph Parker. It will be announced soon. I mean, I say you go Joseph Parker, Agit Kabayel. I don't think they're going to do that. So it will be interesting to see what Parker does. Parker White, maybe? That could be an option. Kabayel, Hrgovic, maybe. I mean, imagine getting all of that on this card. Like, I mean, it's possible, right? It's possible. Frank Warren's on a fantastic run as well. Obviously, I did the heavy impact card. He's got Gakache Wood coming up. He's got Taylor Eka-Usman. He's got Fabio Wardley, Jarrell Miller, and now he's got this. And British boxing's on a high right now as well. That's 3 stadium fights in the space of 4 months, 3 months. Obviously, we just had the one on the weekend. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Fabio Wardley versus Jarrell Miller is a stadium fight. Obviously, it's a smaller stadium at Portman Road, 30,000 stadium fight. And now this one. Jesus Christ, 65,000, 30,000, 90,000. British boxing's in a very good place. Promoter Eddie Hearn might prefer to see Benn in title fight rather than September rematch with Eubank Jr. Certainly. It shouldn't even be a might. Look, will I watch the rematch? Of course. But I don't think we need to see it again. It's never going to be as good as the first one. It's true, right? I'm not lying. You're never going to have what you had. I mean, you had the Eubank senior thing. It was fantastic. Both need to do different things. Eubank Jr. needs to go up in weight, and Conor Benn, if he can, and I think he can, needs to come down in weight. Like, we've seen it. It was fantastic. You guys entertained us. Look, it might happen. I'm saying all this. It's probably more likely that it does happen than it doesn't happen because there'll be a lot of money on the table. But if Ben, and let's focus on Ben actually for this video. If Ben can make 147 safely, get to 147, and let's see what you can do with the big boys. That's it for me. That's all he should be thinking about. Seeing Ben, like, I never thought Ben could do 147 again, just because he's not done it in 2.5 years or whatever it is. Seeing Ben on the official weigh-in, so not the ceremonial weigh-in, the official weigh-in, where he weighed in at 156, and he looked healthy. Honestly, looked really healthy. That was my first time thinking he could do 147. Like, I've been around Ben for years. I've always said this. I don't think Ben's the biggest 147. I've seen bigger 147s than Ben. I've been around Kell Brook and Errol Spence. You know what I mean? Big 147s. Ben isn't that big. Ben isn't that big. So if Ben can make 147, do it. And then, look, he'll be jumping the line to get the Barrios fight, but this is boxing. If they can make that fight, make that fight. I think Barrios is there for the taking. My only concern is there's a lot of talk right now about Barrios versus Manny Pacquiao, which is just wild and crazy. I don't even think that's a big fight. Like, I don't think, call me crazy, but Pacquiao fighting Barrios, I just don't think that's a big fight. Like, I think the Pacquiao thing is done. So I'd rather see Barrios versus Ben. But let's have a look at the options for Conor Benn. So look, Barrios is probably the one they want to go for. Eddie mentioned it there, title fight. If not Barrios, there are domestic fights. Do I believe any of these domestic fights are going to happen? No, but I'm going to mention some names. Conor Walker's there. This is me just mentioning names. Lewis Crocker is there. Paddy Donovan is there. Obviously, we've got Eko Usman, Josh Taylor. These are all names that are there, right? The biggest of those names is Josh Taylor. That's a big fight, I think. Paddy Donovan's a big fight as well. I don't expect him to fight any of those. I'm just saying those because they're there. Domestic fights, 147. And the Conor Benn business is now big business. Trust me, it's big business. Conor Benn is now, all of a sudden, and he was already teetering on being a star because of that performance, because of the magnitude of the fight. He's now a star. He ain't fighting any of those guys. My dream is to see him fight some of the Americans. I want to see that. I think Conor Benn showed me enough on Saturday that I think he can compete with them. Not saying beat them before everyone jumps on me. Compete with them. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia. Sign me up. Conor Benn versus Devin Haney. Sign me up. These guys are now 147 fighters, guys. Conor Benn versus Teofimo Lopez. Sign me up. Those are the three that I would love to see a mix with. Obviously, Jaron Ennis is there, but I mean, let's walk before we run. In fact, let's crawl before we walk. Right? Jaron Ennis is a completely different beast. Especially that now there's no rehydration cap with that guy. He's just a bit of a monster. But Conor Benn versus any of those first three guys or the three middle guys I just mentioned, enormous fights. Like, guys, Conor Benn's a star now. Conor Benn's a star. Like, he has lost no step in the fact he's lost a fight. Like, if anything, he's bigger than he was before. So I think the British public will now be on board with him. We wait to see. But I expect Conor Benn, if not the Eubank rematch, I expect it to be Barrios, and then I expect it to be one of those three guys I just mentioned. I think Conor Benn's catapulted himself into that. Turkey was ringside. Turkey, as you guys know, can make fucking miracles happen. And I expect him to be in some huge fights in the next 12 to 18 months, win or lose. He's entertaining. He sells a fight. He knows what to do. Yeah, I think he's a star. Aaron McKenna targets Chris Eubank Jr. having dazzled against Liam Smith. Yeah, look, credit to Aaron McKenna. Liam Smith didn't win a round for me. That was a clear shutout and he nearly got the stoppage. Fantastic performance. That being said, you're not getting Eubank Jr. It's just not happening. Like, Eubank Jr.'s probably got one or two more fights left and it's not going to be Aaron McKenna. If we're just being frank, it isn't, is it? Hamza Shiraz on Carlos Adame's draw. If I don't learn from this, I'm screwed. Yeah. I mean, screwed's hard. He was in there against a good fighter in Adames. Like, Adames might not be sort of a known name to boxing casuals, but I think the hardcore boxing fans know just how good Adames is. He's a good fighter. He's gone from a good fighter to a brawler in Edgar Berlanga. This is going to be tough against Edgar Berlanga. Headline act as well. Let's see what Andy Lee can do. I thought Ben Whittaker looked all right, didn't he? Very all right after just one camp with Andy Lee. And let's see what Hamza Shiraz can do with Andy Lee for one camp. Because that ain't going to be easy against Edgar Berlanga. Like, I've never really put too much stock into how good Berlanga is. Like, I think the top 168 guys beat him. but he's very big at the weight. He's very aggressive, fast, strong. You know what I mean? This ain't going to be easy. Ain't going to be easy at all. All right, guys, look, this was a very, very quick video. We'll do way more videos. What's this? Actually, very quickly. Joseph Parker confirmed as next for WBO title after Usyk Dubois 2. Okay. Does that mean he sits it out? What does this mean? I don't know what that means. Does that mean he doesn't have an interim fight? I don't know. Interesting. We'll see. You know who I am a bit more puzzled about because of the weekend? Anthony Yarde. I'm a bit puzzled now. I was all systems go for Anthony Yarde versus Boaz, and I still might be. Or even Anthony Yarde versus Callum Smith. I'm less systems go for that one. But that was that was a performance of someone that's just not been active enough for me. Inactivity kills. Let me actually look at how many fights Yarde's had of recent. Anthony Yarde. I know he had that fight. He's 33 now, Anthony Yarde. Okay, let's have a quick look. Okay. So, all right, here we go. 2022, 1 fight. 2023, 2 fights. Obviously, the Beterbiev and then this Jorge Silva guy. And then Marco, who's this? Marco Nilikic, he fought. Ralph Vikens. This is the problem here. This is the problem. It's not necessarily inactivity. It's the level of fighter. That's the issue here. It's the level of fighter. The drop down from really good fights to like really nobodies is too big. Yarde's too good for that. He needs to stay at a certain level. He has to get to that level and stay there. The drop downs can't be happening. And I think that's what's causing the problem. Because he fights guys that are really good, like really good. Obviously, you don't get fucking better than Beterbiev and Kovalev at the time. So then the level, just it's too low. And I personally think Yarde is very good. But I don't think you can switch it on and off like that. I really don't. I don't think you can like fight someone who's not very good and then switch it back on when you have to fight someone that is good. I just don't think you can do that. I think you just need to stay at a level. I'm not trying to say go like fight Beterbiev and then fucking fight Bivol and then fight Benavidez, but you don't have to slip down so far. That's my own take on it. All right, guys, girls, peace and love.